Basically, um, the paintings I'm working on at the moment, these are they're nothing for an exhibition. These are just me keeping up rhythm and different technique and so forth. And you've seen this one's not even finished yet, but yeah, and the one above. So, anyway, oh, me wearing glasses. I don't know why this is brought up. Yeah, of course, I've always had to have worn reading glasses my entire life. I just didn't wear them. I always felt like a bit of a dog myself, but yeah. In my pigeonhole at Star Casino, I always kept my glasses, and every chance I got, if I needed to read something, I used to duck out at the back office with my glasses on. But yeah, so it was 1990. I think was my first glasses prescription. Was it 1990? Had a lazy eye. Was that? Was it lazy eye? I don't know. Look, anyway, yeah, 1990. First prescription I had for prescription glasses, but my left eye actually did get badly damaged when I was mugged and robbed November 3rd, 2007. You can see here. Actually, if you look, so if you look at a good angle, so this part of my face got smashed in, and you can see that in all the photos. So you can actually, if you really focus, you'll be able to see the damage between this side of my face, which got really badly hit and smashed in when I was mugged and robbed November 30th, 2007. I mean, you can see the scar there. Okay, that's probably not a scar, but if you actually have a, you know, if you're a family member of mine, which none of my family has ever taken any notice of me, anyway, but if you're anyone who knows me, you'll know that this side of my face here got badly damaged when I was mugged and robbed November 3rd, 2007. So I shouldn't be discriminated. Like, this is the thing. I hope immigration won't discriminate against me, but I should not be discriminated against. And I've been defamed and discriminated against in the last 9 years. That's not right to do that to me. Because I've been I'm not playing the victim. I'm not going to dare. I hate that word, but I have been a victim of defamation and discrimination, and it's disability discrimination. I'm not mentally retarded, but I have been injured and had suffered severe injuries, and you know, I've had to, and I did all this by myself. Had to go through it. I don't need attention on anybody going, oh, well done. No, just don't discriminate against me. All I ask for is to not be defamed. So I don't need you coming in going, oh, well done. No. Oh, you've gone through so much. No, please. I don't need attention. I don't need attention. I don't need fame. Don't need attention. Don't need fame. Don't need anything like that. What I need is to not be defamed. Don't defame me and don't discriminate against me. That's all I'm asking for. Is no defamation and no discrimination towards me, please. And that's all I've asked for 9 years. It's extremely simple. Don't deny me the truth. There you go. What I'm saying is the truth. Don't deny it. Even what I've said about family heritage and history. Don't make a lie out of me. Thank you very much. And that's to my family, which are good at it. Family. Anyway. Go back to what I enjoy, which is my creativity. I actually, in the Year 10 yearbook, there's a photo of me with my 5 paintings. And I think those paintings might be still at Mum's. They were 1995, they were my high school major, fine arts. And it was, the paintings were based on Italy, Florence, Rome. I learned stucco. Actually, I learned stucco in TAFE College as well, or stucco, whatever they want to call it. But I learned it in TAFE College. It's part of when you're learning Renaissance art, which I've studied Renaissance art, and that's where I learned stucco, and that's in fine arts, and you can actually see it in some of those paintings. Yeah, actually, I've got some here which are on paper where I've done stucco, which is plaster and paint. Stucco, all that is plaster and paint. It's working with plaster and paint. I did that, started doing that in high school. And I did it in TAFE College in 96 and I also did it in TAFE College in 97. But I did it in high school as well. It's funny because you talk to some people that haven't had an affluent background. And there's one person in particular, I won't name her name because she's an idiot. But you can tell that they're not raised in any affluent upbringing or background. And I did have a good affluent upbringing when it came to my great grandmother Mary and her brother, who we call Uncle Fred, which is Leo Patrick Sayer, my Nana Lola, even my mum. You know, like I often make videos where I say, look, she paid for my private school education. What do you expect? I did pay attention. Just because I play the goat, I'm a ram, I'm an Aries, born the year of the goat, just because I play the goat doesn't mean I am one. Like you paid for my private school education. What did you expect? Of course I paid attention. I enjoyed the education I had. I really enjoyed going to a good school, and you can see the difference between myself and my cousins on my dad's side who think they're somebody, and it's like you can tell that you've gone to a public school. My cousins on my dad's side are such, but public system. I'm like, you can tell, like Joan and Fiona and so forth. They're just teachers. They're only teachers. They're just leftist, libertarian teachers. Is all they are, and you can tell that they've Fiona. You can tell that they're from this public school system. And there's a massive difference between people from public school systems and private school systems and how their upbringing is. Excuse me. Oh my God, worst time to doing a video. I've got the most horrible mucus. Every time I go to talk, I've got phlegm at the back of my throat. I'm all blocked here, more sinus here that's dripping down the back of my throat. I'm coughing up phlegm. You can hear it in my chest, it's rattling. But, you can tell. And so I had a really good curriculum. And when I've been talking about my curriculum in the last 9 years, I'm telling the truth, and I just been really badly defamed. I'm like, but I went to a private school with a really good curriculum. I don't give a shit. But by the time I went to the school, it was old and falling down. It was a good curriculum, And the same with my primary school in Sydney. St. Aidan's was a really good primary school. You know what? I was taught because I went to private schools. St. Aidan's is a private Roman Catholic school in the suburbs. LA the Rosary College was a private Roman Catholic school in the country. I was really blessed to have a really good curriculum. And so when my mum was like, well, you paid for our private school. I mean, we finished school and my mum used to say, I'm still paying off your school fees. It's like, well, what do you expect? We had a good education. Like I didn't waste it just because I'm acting the goat. I still paid attention, which is why I can still speak a little bit of French, but I don't use it. And that was Miss Craig. I had Miss Craig for French. Miss Craig had short, mousy blonde or brownish hair. Miss Craig, Miss Davis. I had Miss Craig for, Miss Craig was a French teacher, Miss Craig was my music teacher. Miss Craig actually had black bobbish frizzy hair. Miss Craig was my music teacher. And the music rooms shared the French rooms. Down the other end of the Year 10 courtyard is where it was. So the Oval, the music and French rooms and the Year 10 courtyard was off that. Miss Craig was my music teacher. So Miss Craig taught music and French. Miss Davids. Was it Davis or Davids? Mrs. Davids was the short, mousy, brown-haired lady who taught me French in 1992, 1993. I adored Miss Craig too. I remember her really fondly. And I used to go to, when I was young, so when we still lived in Sydney, Mum sent me to piano lessons. And she said, oh, you never applied yourself, you're a show-off. That's what you think. Anyway, we did go to piano lessons, Amanda and myself. And then I went to guitar lessons. And yeah, I didn't do anything with it. But mum, so that's the thing. Here's the thing: we did have an affluent upbringing, so everything. What other people, I hear what their lives are like. I'm like, I don't know if I can adapt to you because growing up, I played soccer. I rode equestrian horses. I did used to ride my horse around Moore Park. When the Nationals and Royals were on, I said this. I used to ride my horse right down to the Baden-Powell Hotel, cut across, and come back into the park. I used to exit out the park up near where Paddington is, and then ride my horse around those houses down the bottom of Moore Park Road there, go right to the bottom, Cleveland Street, cut across, come back in, ride past mum, and she'd be like, "You're not exiting the park, are you, Justin?" Like this. Put my headphones back on. I used to put my headphones on. Can't hear you, mum. That's what it was like. Put my headphones on while I'm riding my horse around. Can't hear you. I should be yelling out at the top of my lungs. She'd be screaming out, "I can't hear you. Can't hear." And we spent summer holidays at the beach because we had the holiday house and family at the beach and that as well. Dad was a builder, mum was a paralegal. And Man and I went to piano lessons when we were young, and then I went to guitar lessons and then I started with piano. My mum went to ballroom dancing lessons and tennis lessons when she was growing up and had equestrian horses. And you tell my dad's side, I gotta say this, I really regret ever. So Nan passed away, Dad's mum passed away, Ruby passed away October 2007, and I was mugged in November 2007. So they don't know anything about me because Ruby passed away in October 2007, and those family members on Dad's side, besides my dad, because my dad didn't have anything to do with his family members, I only reconnected at Nan's funeral. And sure, I used to go and see Nan all the time. So Ruby was down in Bangalow Street, Ettalong Beach. And I used to go and have lunch with Ruby a lot, catch up with her, had a chat with her, and she'd be like, "Oh, you've missed your Auntie Sharon. Oh, I've just had Jeffrey here. Oh, Meredith's been here." I'm like, "Oh, well," so would be, ships passing in the night, so forth. So I knew my cousins were around, but never had anything to do with them. And I didn't even know one cousin until Aunt Sandra passed away, which, was in 2001 when Dad's older sister Sandra passed away. And that was, what didn't know, Jessica Pincham or Christy Ceruni, or a lot of them. Anyway, it's not here or there. But I look at them when they've sort of made comments in the sense reconnecting with me, and it's like, you don't know anything. You reconnected we all reconnected at Nan's funeral in October 2007, so you don't know. So don't make a comment about things you don't know, because you don't know. And that's it. You don't know. Anyway, but going back to artwork. So yes, going back to the good curriculum that I had. Yes, so I've still got some of the artwork that I did in 95 when I was doing stucco, which is plaster mixed with paint, basically. We had to learn how to do that. It was part of when you study different artists and different forms of painting and, different periods of art and so forth, And Jude Ball was my teacher then. But that was in high school. But then I went and studied fine arts certificate in TAFE College. I've always done art classes. I've always done, so I don't know why this was brought up in the last 9 years like it was something sinister. Apparently, one of my doctors go, "Oh, we'll do art as being part of therapy." I'm like, okay, but it's a job. I started it and I've studied it. I've won competitions in it, and which I did. Anyway, it's like that. So back to what I was saying. The 5 paintings I did. So the study on stucco, the study on the Renaissance period, the study through Florence and Rome and other artists. And then I did 5 paintings based on that. Dali was one. You can see that. Actually, I wonder if I've got any way of showing that photo. I've got some anyway. Dali was one. Da Vinci was another. I studied, and then you can see that with the impressionism art that I've done as well, and taking different All right, going back to my painting, but after commentating, let's do with it. But this I've already I've worked on, just reworking. So a technique of doing lots of very fine layers and build up depth that I was playing around with. Not the first time. There's a painting I've done which is a painting of Picasso, and it's actually almost similar colour to this as well. I'm using it. Sorry, I'm using. So there's a painting when I painted Picasso, and I'm using very similar techniques to this as the painting I've done on Picasso, and I'll put it up at somewhere. I've got it here with me. It's broken now from being in storage. The canvas is actually split in the centre, and it's cracking away right across the centre. It's been broken during moving. Shame, I should probably get it framed, but it's actually very similar. It's similar technique as what I'm doing here. It's almost similar in the colours and everything as what I'm doing here in this painting. So. Worst thing about living near a school. So you can see I'm putting highlights for different areas and bringing it out and putting more depth in and more define, more definition. Actually, while I'm doing this relaxing, I'll talk about that. So I've had a green card since 2014, and someone made up this ridiculous story about, oh, it's an escapism. It's like, no, it's not. I have a green card. I applied for a green card, and I've had it since 2014. That person who was making up stories is Giovanni Gonzalo. But then my family is so dumb they listened. Both sides. So no matter what I do in my life, my family will never be back in it. That's it. I'm so sick of them. And it's not like that. This isn't something that is just new. This is going back my entire life. I'm so sick of it. As well, I was only ever close to my nan and pop, my great grandmother, and my great uncle. The rest of them, and both sides, I couldn't care less. Dad, I'll catch up with. My dad, Mark Fleming. The rest of them, they have issues. Like seriously, the way that they behave and the way they behave towards me, the disrespect towards me my entire life, it's like, you're a fuckwit. Like, you honestly are a fuckwit. You can be as nice as and never done anything nasty towards me, like, but you're still a fuckwit. Seriously, couldn't care less if they drop dead tomorrow. Oh, and that's the other thing. I've never been suicidal ever in my life. I've never been depressed. I've never attempted suicide. I've never threatened. But I have been the victim of extreme defamation of character since 2015. And those family members who were told by me that I was lied about and the circumstances were twisted to be sinister and blown way out of proportion, were told the truth by me instead of actually repeating the truth as per me. They did this attention seeking, which is like they've harassed me in my life. I'm like, you're the attention seeker. I want nothing to do with you, you fuckwits. I mean, like I've always said, when Nan's dead, don't expect me to have anything to do with it. Like Richard fucking Mihowski, you fucking loser. Seriously, my mother's sister's husband, you just want to fucking smack him in the head. He's a fucking loser. He's a cockhead. He's the biggest wanker you're ever going to fucking meet. Richard Mihowski, my uncle. Yeah, you tell these people that you're getting lied about, and this is what happened, I'm trying to correct it, and then they want to push things for their narrative and agenda. So they're moving things forward for their own narrative and agenda, and I'm there going, can you stop? Can you stop? You're damaging my life. This is what I've already told you. Can you stop? So I get fucked. I couldn't stand you people before when I had to put up with you for my grandparents' sake. I'm definitely not going to have anything to do with you now. My grandparents are dead. When there was never one enjoyable moment in my entire life around you people, you're a fucking cockhead. You're an idiot. The lot of them, I can't stand them. Richard Mihowski, Marion Mihowski, Robin fucking Childs. Oh my god, that fucking deadbeat sister of my mother's and her fucking daughter Christy Childs. We couldn't stand it. I could not. I hope Amanda doesn't. I hope my twin sister's intelligent enough to realise, okay, well now Nan's dead, we don't have to see him again. You know, there was not one enjoyable fucking moment with those losers, the people. We had to put up with them because of my Nan. That was it. We put up with them. Putting up with somebody who's not enjoying them. Putting up with they're just losers. They're fucking deadbeats. I can't stand them. I've never been close to my family. Our family's not a close family. That's insane. We're not close. That's just what they like to tell. They want to, oh, we're close. No, you're not. You're a narcissistic, toxic, vindictive pieces of shit, control freak people. That's not true. My grandmother was the only reason why we ever came together. We're not close. We know nothing. They know nothing about me. I wouldn't rely on them to know one thing. I wouldn't rely on them to know even what, I don't know. I wouldn't rely on them to know what colour my eyes are. I don't know. Like, they're just fucking losers. And I can't stand them. Never could. I was only ever close to Reg Lola and my great-grandmother and her brother, but it doesn't matter. Just because they're your family doesn't mean anything. It's ridiculous. Can't absolutely fucking stand them. And that's not something that's new. This is going back, and it's not even like, it's like Marianne Mihowski loves this bullshit. I'm going to end it there because this is going to be too long to upload this video. She'll be like, oh, you can't move on. It's like, well, of course I can. I don't have anything to do with you. You're the one that kept harassing my life and coming into my area. I kept telling you to fuck off. Like, you're a fucking loser, you little baby of the family. Oh, she's a sport bitch. Oh, she really is. She was the youngest. And I can't stand them. Like, fucking can't. And their friends. Oh my god. Seriously, we had a family function. You're going to sit around fucking Alison Boyd. Oh, what a fucking scrubber. Putting up with those losers of people. What a fucking absolute scrubber. Seriously. Like, you get to a point where it's like, yeah. Like, I remember, what was it might have been Mum's brother's funeral. I'm with Nan, I'm having coffee, and some weirdo friend of theirs, or Alison's or whatever, came up and was like, oh, you're not a purdy, you're drinking coffee. I'm like, Nan doesn't really drink. You know, Pop never drunk. That's the thing. Reginald George Purdy wasn't a drinker. My grandfather barely drunk. He would have occasional beer and occasional port. And that was it. They're not, the only ones that were big drinkers, heavy drinkers, was the daughters. Like, their children. My Nan, Reg and Lola's children. Like, I used to go out and to go to West Point and go shopping with Nan and Pop, and we used to go and sit down and have coffee together and enjoy. We would sit and converse in conversation. So Reg would sit with me and have coffee at a cafe inside of West Point. Now, you ask one of their children if they ever did that with them. No. Because they never conversed with Pop like I did. We'd sit and have coffee. It was fantastic. Myself, no, and I should have vanilla slice or something. We'll sit there, we have a pastry, we have a coffee. It was myself, because I was more with my grandparents than anyone else. It was myself, Reggie and Lola, Nan and Pop. That was it. Us three, we sit there. We go into shopping in West Point, and then back when we used to pay all your bills by the Australian Post. So I've gone to the post office, paid my bills. I'm walking around ground floor, the old West Point. So ground floor, and the escalators are to my right. And if you keep walking around past the escalators and turn to your right, you'll see the reject shop. And I'm walking around and I hear this, Justin, like this. I've looked up, there's Pop going up the escalator. He goes, your nana's in the dollar store, whatever, like the reject shop. It was like a dollar shop back then. She goes, she wants to show you something. I'm like, oh, what are you doing, Pop? He's like, I'm just going to go up and down the escalators. He went up, he was joking around. It was so fun. And I went in there, so I used to go shopping with him. We used to go and hang out. Like, no one else in my family hung out with Pop and went for coffee. You ask him. And he just kept like, he wasn't that much of a drinker, but to try and relate to his daughters, and he couldn't stand him in the end. I can't stand them. They're just embarrassing fools. And their friends are just embarrassing fools. I can't stand, and they're friends. That's why Pop used to always say, like, it's the people, so he never wanted these daughters hanging around the people that they do. And look at what's happened to them. And Pop said to me that Nan never drunk in her life. She remembers the first time she had a beer, and it was to do with, Mum and Mum's sister Robin's fault. And Pop said, yep, it's the people that they affiliated with. You'd never, and that's what Pop even said about certain people. I won't name their names here. It's like, well, you don't want your daughters hanging around those people. That's why I don't like them. That's why I don't like, that's like the guy, okay, Jeff Burgess. That's why Pop never liked Jeff Burgess, because none of Pop said, you'll say this, and next minute they say that we've got, like Pop said, so when Pop was talking to me in February 2001 about being homosexual, because he knew, he goes, I don't know what my daughters have told you, Justin. He said, but I don't have a problem with gay people, homosexuals. I know, like Pop knew I was gay. And he goes, I don't know if you know or not, but Uncle Fred's gay. And like, there's Uncle. And Uncle Fred's my best friend, so therefore my best friend's gay. Like, that's how he said it. And Pop never had a problem with it. But because Pop had a problem with Jeff Burgess, Mum, they're like, it's because you know what Dad's like. You know what Dad's like. It's like, and Pop's like, that's not what I'm like. This is how my daughters treat me. This is how they treat me, Justin. I'm looking at Pop going, yeah, they treat me the same. That's how they treat me. That's how they're always going to be. They're three horrible, evil, disgusting pieces of shit women. I hate their guts, the three of them. I hate their guts. I only put up with them because of Nan, but I absolutely hate their guts with a passion. They're just horrible, evil women. They are the most evilest pieces of shit women you will ever meet in your entire life. They are control freak. They are extreme, toxic, narcissistic, vindictive pieces of shit women. Like I used to say, I enjoy getting up. I used to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and watch soccer with Pop. He used to pull out the brown box from the middle of the cupboard. We used to go through photos and family documents. He used to tell me all about the history. No one else had that with Pop. He couldn't stand it. He used to go to bed when they were around. He would just get up and go to bed. 7 o'clock, going to bed. That's how much he hated. He couldn't stand his daughters. But when I was living there, oh God, Pop and I were up late at night, because I lived there. I was living there with them. Pop wasn't going to bed early, only when his daughters came around. Pop and I was enjoying ourselves. I used to come home. I rang Pop. I'm going to leave it there because this video is going to be too long, but I'm going to say this. So I'm coming home from working at the Gazebo Hotel on Church Street, Parramatta in the year 2000. And I'm driving down the highway. I couldn't believe my luck because Pop's superstitious. A cat ran across the front, black cat, ran across in front of me. I stopped the car on the highway and I rang Pop straight out from a mobile, rang the home phone at 3 o'clock in the morning. Pop, he would have been up anyway, but he got out of bed. Said, what's wrong? I'm like, Pop, a black cat just ran across in front of me. I'm like, because we're superstitious, Pop and I. And he goes, right, you got your rosary beads in the car? They're hanging from my rearview mirror. I'm like, yeah. He goes, bless yourself. hold the rosary beads, and will you go home like this? You like drive home. It's like right, because that actually happened. It was so funny. And then I got home about 3:30, whatever, in the morning. After finishing work, and sit up with Pop because you're an idiot. Because what did you do? Stop on the highway because of a black car. I'm like, yes. You know, like, oh god, and that happened. It was So I had a good experience with Pop, and he was very fine with, he was extremely fine with the fact that I was gay, and his relationship with his daughters was not who he ever was. I saw him in a different light, and Pop started explaining to me it's because they're bullies. They're fat fucking little control freak, narcissistic bullies. My mother, her sisters are just bullies. And the way they used to bully him and the way they treated him and so forth. And, oh, you know what dad's like. Oh, you know what dad's like. Oh, dad's in the mood. Oh, dad's in the mood. It's like, no, he's not. And I lived there. It's like, but he's not. He's only in the mood when one of you women turn up. He's fine otherwise. I linoed the back part. So where the toilet was put into the laundry, at the back of the house, and then there's a little area off that laundry as well near the back door. Me and Pop, we changed the lino. We wanted to change it to something different. So Pop and I went shopping for lino, and we linoed it together. Like, he was only like that. He was only in the mood around his daughters. It was them that set him off. And that's it. All the comments that my mother and her sisters make about their father, that's not who their father is. That's what they made him like. There's a massive big difference. That's not who Pop. I lived with Pop. I used to sit up with Pop. We used to sit up late at night. God, like, you know, that's, okay, here's the thing. Pop wanted to try the microwave, how you cook in the microwave. He got a bee in his bonnet. One day and Nan's like, oh, friggin' heck, I wish he wouldn't. Reg, go do your own thing. So he's like, no, Pop wants to cook, right? But he's reading one of the cookbooks to do with the microwave. And he's like, oh, look, Lola, you can roast a chicken in this. Like, I'm not roasting a friggin' chicken in the microwave, Reg. Yeah, we'll do it like the way it says in the book. So, and they were playing around with the microwave, different things to do with it. And anyway, that didn't work. They ended up taking it out and doing it in the oven anyway. But still, it was like fun. I saw a different side. I saw a completely different side to what he showed his daughters. And that's because he hated it. He hated his daughters. He hated them. Nan and Pop used to always say they were extremely happy before they had daughters. Nan wished she never had daughters. She only likes sons because they're not bitchy. She hated the fact she had daughters. Hated it with a passion because of the way women behave. My nan hated it because of the way women behave. Pop used to say we were happy before we had daughters, and the argument was always about their daughters. I don't want them in my life. They're toxic. They're toxic. I don't want them. I don't want to see them. They're horrible people. And they've always been horrible people. I'm going to leave there because it's over 30 minutes now, and my battery's about to go flat too. But I'll continue with my painting, and yeah.